Hello students, today is Monday, March the 21st, 2016, and here are your top announcements. First of all, spring break's coming up next week. This week is a 4-day week. Next week is your spring break. It means your teachers will not be available during the week to help you. It means that they're off too. So what you need to do is this week, if you know that you're not in good standing as a student, or if you're behind or whatever, you need to ask your teacher, hey, what should I do over spring break? Because not everybody gets a spring break, unfortunately, because not all of you deserve one. Some of you have already taken a spring break, and a winter break, and a fall break, and all kinds of breaks. Those are the breaks. Graduation. You need to let Lindsay know what your guest list will be for graduation, and you need to have your cap and gown ordered by April the 1st. That's by April Fool's Day. That's by Friday of next week. You need to have all that done, taken care of. If you don't tell us what your guest list is, or if you don't tell us you're going to walk across the stage and you don't get to, sorry, we'll just mail you your diploma. You can be like that TV commercial of somebody that went to, I think it was like Georgia State University online programs, and they have like their big diploma there. I don't know. But you're not going to walk across the stage, which is what I'd rather you do, so take care of all of that by April the 1st. Prom. Speaking of April the 1st, we must have 25 people who've bought prom tickets by April the 21st, or by April 1st, or we're not going to have a prom. Our prom's set to be April the 9th. If I don't have enough people who've bought tickets and we can't afford it, I'm not going to go through the process of paying for things out of my own pocket, so 10 people can have a prom. We had enough people who said they were coming. We've even had 3 beyond that who have bought tickets. So really, need 22 of you to buy tickets. Who said you were going to? All 22 of you. 2 of those have. But I've only got 5 people who bought tickets, and prom's coming up a week from Saturday. So yeah, April the 9th, which is 2 weeks from Saturday. So I don't want, if we don't have enough people buy tickets by April the 1st, and that's April the 1st sharp, meaning that if I'm sitting at my desk over there on April the 1st and happen to pull up that spreadsheet and there aren't 25 people on it, I'm making an announcement immediately that we're not having prom. And, I hate it, but it's just how it is. And you shouldn't have promised you were going to come if you weren't going to come. Because if we didn't have 25 people sign up, then I wouldn't have said we were going to have a prom in the first place. So, programs of study, something exciting. Well, we have 4 new programs of study that our current freshmen, who will be sophomores, and then our incoming freshmen will be able to choose from. One is fine arts, and that's basically taking 3 arts after Art 1, which is really exciting. We may be offering another fine arts. I'm hoping to do in the future a history of rock and roll as a music appreciation class. And so we'll see if we're able to offer that or not in the future. I'd like to do that. And that way you'd only have to take Art 1 and 2 and 3 to do your program of study. But since the only fine art we offer right now is Art 1, then you have to take 2, 3, and 4. The other program of study we're going to do is humanities, which are electives in foreign language, social studies, and English. So let's say you take Spanish 1 and 2. If you took German 1 and 2, or if you took German 1 and then French 1 and then another foreign language, or mythology, or contemporary issues, or creative writing, then that would fulfill your humanities elective focus. The other one is math science, so that's you have to have 3 courses outside of what's required. Remember, you have to have 3 science courses. Those are typically biology, physical science, and then another one. So let's say you took physics, so biology, physical science, physics, and you could take chemistry, anatomy, advanced algebra, statistics, whatever above what's required of you. Mathematics, you have to take 4 of those. So let's say you take Math 1, Math 2, Math 3, and then you take another one, such as statistics. Then you could take advanced algebra and 2 sciences to complete that program of study. The 4th, and I think the most attractive program of study of all, is the dual enrollment. which is that you would just take 3 dual enrollment courses while you're in high school. That would fulfill that. That means you could do that path and do one of the CTE paths that we talked about, such as programming, networking, or web design. And there are ways to make it all fit if you go, all 8 semesters. So just ask Ms. Settlemeyer about that. I sent an email about it that should make it pretty clear. But I'm just really excited we're offering these new paths because not everybody wants to pick a CTE path, not everybody wants to pick an academic path, but so you all have some wiggle room with that. So your thought for the day. Obviously, the college basketball tournament's going on right now, the NCAA tournament, and not everybody's into sports ball of one kind or another, but a really good life lesson happened last night. It was tragic. Northern Iowa, who is not known to be a basketball powerhouse, was playing Texas A&M. So Northern Iowa was the 11th seed out of 16, and the Texas A&M was the 3rd seed out of 16. So in other words, Northern Iowa, not really that great as far as a national power in college basketball. Texas A&M was sort of a pick that a lot of people were picking to maybe even win the NCAA tournament. So you've got an underdog, Northern Iowa versus Texas A&M, which is kind of a juggernaut. So Northern Iowa's winning. They've got the game won. I mean, there's 40 seconds left and they're up by 12 points, which means that in order to tie, and keep in mind the shot clock's 24 seconds, so 40 seconds left, 24 seconds. If you can keep from getting fouled, hit your free throws or whatever, that means that Texas A&M is going to have to at least 4 times if they hit 3-pointers, or 6 times if they hit 2-pointers, 6 times score without Northern Iowa scoring once. Very improbable. People from Texas and A&M were leaving. I thought the game was over. I wasn't even paying attention to it. I just had it on. And I thought, wow, Texas A&M got to be good for Northern Iowa. Because I like the underdogs. And what happened is Northern Iowa totally melted. Texas A&M totally never gave up, just kept fighting, and tied the game, went to 1 overtime, tied it again, went to a 2nd overtime, and won it. And that was so tragic for Northern Iowa. So 2 lessons you can learn from that. One is to never give up, because things are never over until they're over. But as long as you've got a fighting chance, never give up. Just don't give up. You never know what might happen. Texas A&M never gave up. Their fans gave up. I gave up. And honestly, Northern Iowa gave up because they got cocky. Why do you think Han Solo turns around and says to Luke Skywalker after he shoots his first TIE fighter down, says, "Don't get cocky, kid." Because he knows that if he gets cocky, he's going to mess up. He's not going to hit the TIE fighter. The TIE fighter is going to disable their shields, going to disable their engines, going to do something like that, and they're all going to be dead. So don't get cocky. Like when you experience success, remember what got you there to begin with. Just keep doing what made you successful. Northern Iowa didn't do that. They had some mitigating circumstances, but all they had to do was inbound the ball. That's all they had to do. Get the ball into one of their players and get fouled and hit your free throws. You win the game. They couldn't inbound it 1 time. That's, if you don't know anything about basketball, when the dude's standing there with the ball and throwing it in from the side, couldn't do that. You've got 5 seconds to do it. And they just kept throwing it to Texas A&M. Unbelievable. And really broke my heart, and then made me so angry that they couldn't get that one little thing accomplished that I was like, well, I'm glad they lost. Sorry, Northern Iowa fans. But, I mean, it's just, I didn't have a thing in it. I don't care about Texas A&M. Don't even like them. And was pulling for Northern Iowa, but they just broke my heart with their incompetence. And that's what it was. They can call it all these other things and talk about all these other great things they did. But honestly, at the very end of the ball game, when it mattered most, they turned to totally, completely incompetent players. Because they got cocky. They thought they had it won. Don't get cocky, kid. Have a great day.